Hello nerd animators! It's time to animate some dynamic poses, as you can see right here. This animation was for a challenge that, well, in a certain server we are making these weekly challenges about animation, and this week was a challenge about dynamic poses and animating it, And what more dynamic, than just sports in general? Because let me tell you something. Maybe you are here with me, maybe don't, it's just my opinion, but I believe that when you are trying to emulate or to draw a certain dynamic pose or a certain, a pose with a lot of gesture, you need to take reference from some sports, because what's more powerful, what's more dynamic than just a sport, like the peak of human physical abilities, I mean, maybe you could say you could use ballet as a reference from dynamic poses, but I also believe those dancers are really athletic, and they display a lot of force in their dances. And also because I took inspiration from this guy called
Buro,
which I don't know how to pronounce it, that's why I used the Google Translator. And they make such a really good work when they are making the gestural drawings as I'm showing you right now. And as you can see, they use a lot of sports reference from all of these, and that makes sense because a lot of the time I believe that dynamic pose means just a display of powerfulness or just a display of action in a certain character, And again, I cannot stress this enough, you should take inspiration and you should take references from sports. I don't know which of them, this you could use football, you could use volleyball, you could use baseball in in my case and the case of this really good artist that I showed you earlier. And that's because, it's as I told you before, it's peak performance in terms of physical abilities, the power and the velocities, maybe speed is the correct word. The speed that some of the athletes in all of these different areas of sports they reach is just amazing. It's just, as I told you before, maybe I'm repeating myself a lot here, but it's just peak for performance, man, and you should acknowledge that. I believe that's the correct word. But yeah, I believe that now we are finishing the key poses and starting off with the actual in betweens and all the other frames. And the thing here is that I just wanted to mess around and to play with a lot of the timing because I used a slow-mo animation, a slow-mo video for me to have reference from it. And to be honest, God bless people that upload these kind of videos of just slow-mo things, because they are really good reference for us artists. And yeah, I believe that they are making a great job by uploading those videos. And so if you could just search for some reference in sports in slow motion, and then you can just copy from those and to practice some of the gesture, which is very important for us animators, as you could see in the start of the video. It just helps you developing this skill of understanding a little bit better how poses works, how the human body interacts when they are making some certain movement, and how they display all of the force that they are trying to achieve, But yeah, actually this was a really cool experiment. This was a really cool challenge that I encourage you to also do a challenge of some sort of like this, I encourage you to do this challenge of trying to copy and trying to have the reference of a sport, which then you can just practice with it a little bit of gesture and all of the dynamic poses, and then just play with the timing, I don't know. But yeah, that will be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for the support, and thanks a lot to the supporters of the channel, which are Toby Waffles, Avocado, Lucky Galaxy, and also Jenny. Thank you so much, and we'll see each other in the next episode, guys. Goodbye.